Comma Rules, Part 2, by Jake, Walker, Elena, Thad, Adam, and Michaela. Using commas. Commas should be used after certain introductory elements. Use a comma to set off a mild exclamation such as well, oh, or why. Other introductory words such as yes and no are also set off by commas. Well, I guess so. Yikes, are we late? Yes, I heard your question. Introductory participles. Use a comma after an introductory participle or participle phrase. Exhausted, the scouts took a breath. Looking poised and calm, Jill walked to the podium. Introductory participle. Do not confuse a gerund phrase used as the subject of a sentence with an introductory participle phrase. Following directions can sometimes be difficult. Following directions is a gerund phrase used as the subject of a sentence. Following directions, I began to assemble the bike. Following directions is an introductory participle phrase modifying I. Introductory elements. Use a comma after two or more introductory prepositional phrases or after one long one. Examples. In the first round of the golf tournament, I played against one of the best golfers in the state. In the secret chamber called the Crystal Keep, the heroine found the missing map. Introductory elements. A single short introductory prepositional phrase does not require a comma unless the sentence is awkward to read without one or unless the phrase is parenthetical. Examples. At the track, meet me in front of the snack bar. By the way, I need to borrow a quarter. Introductory elements. Use a comma after an introductory adverb clause. Examples. After I had locked the car door, I remembered that the keys were still in the ignition. I had a spare set of keys with me. If I hadn't, I would have had to walk home. An adverb clause that follows an independent clause is generally not set off by a comma. Interrupters. Use commas to set off an expression that interrupts a sentence. Non-essential appositives and appositive phrases are set off by commas. An appositive is a noun or pronoun placed beside another noun or pronoun to identify or describe it. An appositive phrase consists of an appositive and its modifiers. A non-essential or non-restrictive appositive phrase adds info that is unnecessary to the meaning of the sentence. In other words, the basic meaning of the sentence is clear and complete with or without the appositive or appositive phrase. Appositives. Example. Some subjects in school are harder for me than others. For example, I don't do very well in math. Interrupters. Words used in direct address are set off by commas. Examples. Mom, have you called Miss Johnson yet? Your painting, Andy, is very original. Will you answer the question, Monica? Parenthetical expressions. Parenthetical expressions are set off by commas. A parenthetical expression is a side remark that adds information or shows a relationship between ideas. Strawberry jam, for instance, doesn't make a good spaghetti sauce. Uncle Charlie, when he was told about the escaped fleas, broke out in a blush. Parenthetical expressions. Some commonly used parenthetical expressions are, after all, at any rate, by the way, however, therefore, in fact, of course, for example, nevertheless, on the other hand, and meanwhile. Conventional uses. Use commas in certain conventional situations. Use a comma to separate items in dates and addresses. Examples. On Monday, December 3rd, 2007, I bought my pet dog. Contact the postmaster at 108 Griffith Lane, Bethesda, Maryland, if you need more information. Conventional uses. Do not use commas to set off the month from the day from the month when the day is given before the month from the year when no day is given, a house number from a street name, a state abbreviation from a zip code, or items joined by prepositions. Conventional uses. Use commas after the salutation of a personal letter and after the closing of any letter. Example. Dear Dale and Amy, sincerely yours. Use a colon after the salutation of a business letter. Dear Dr. Wong. Conventional uses. Use commas to set off a title such as junior, senior, MD that follows a person's name. Examples: Coretta Jones, MD, Isaiah Walker, Sr. makes animated films. Unnecessary commas. Do not use unnecessary commas. Use a comma only if a rule requires one or if the meaning is unclear without one. Incorrect. The teacher in the room across the hall is Cameron's aunt. There is no rule requiring a comma to separate the subject teacher from the verb is. Correct. The teacher in the room across the hall is Cameron's aunt.